My manager told me like probably like 130 songs or I don't know, around there.
That's how many
for the
you record?
album, yeah. And we narrowed it down to 14. It was kind of hard, but also not really, because my heart was literally screaming these songs.
Tyler, welcome to MTV.
Yay.
It's so good to have you here. I mean, you're making history. I feel like I have so many things to congratulate you on. You, the youngest African artist to win a Grammy at just 22. Your album is already out. People are loving it. They're tweeting about it. I want to go back to that Grammy moment. Some time has passed. Have you had a chance to process what it means to have that significant milestone at this point in your career?
I don't think fully,
Yeah.
as yet. I don't know when I would, because it's such a big thing to digest, you know. It's a award that people dream about getting forever and ever and ever. And the fact that I won the first of its kind, the first African Performance Grammy, like, it's so big. So I'm just happy.
What's remarkable to me about you, though, there's like normally this deer in headlights look when a new artist wins that Grammy, but you had a poise and an aura about yourself that seemed like you've been there before.
Thank you to the Recording Academy for this category. It's so important. And I know I'm forgetting some things, but I won a Grammy!
Would you say you felt that way, that you felt comfortable in that moment?
I don't know why, but that whole day, I was just feeling like a sense of peace, like over me. It was probably from God, because I'm always praying for peace, because I'm nervous before these things. But that whole day, I was just feeling like calm. And I don't know, it was probably God telling me that I was gonna win.
Yeah, you could
Maybe.
feel it. I saw in that picture too, that iconic picture. I said, she's holding that thing like she's had one of these before. I said, so what has been the most surprising part about this success that you've been receiving as of late?
Just all these opportunities that are coming my way, it's just crazy. And I know a lot of people are also confused, because they're like wondering, where did this girl come from? How is all of this happening? Like, I'm just as shocked, and I'm just trying to take everything and be grateful and just live in the moment, because it's the moment now. So
It's your moment. Well, let's answer those questions for him. Where did you come from? Talk about your love of music. I understand you've been making music since you were really, really young. When did that love of music first become real for you?
literally always loved music,
Yeah.
always would just make songs, perform for people. But professionally, my last year of high school is when I actually recorded properly in front of a mic and started making my own music, you know. And that was every weekend, just trying new things. And I ended up making Getting Late, my first song ever. And that kind of kickstarted everything else. So.
Said last I checked, 9 million views, that music video.
Yeah.
Song was phenomenal. Would you call that record and its reception your big break? Or what would the moment be that you would define as your breakthrough moment?
Obviously, definitely Water,
Right,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
globally. But Getting Late was definitely that first step where I felt like, okay, I'm Tyler the artist, because I was also on social media and everything. So I feel like that moment kind of took me more into the artistry, you know.
Yeah, I would love to go even before Getting Late. As a child, do you remember how old you were when you wrote your first song?
I was probably like 10 or something.
Yeah?
Like, probably, I don't think I can tell you the exact dates because I've always been doing it. But yeah, maybe.
What made me think about it was you tweeted a video of a baby Tyler walking on the stage
Yes!
on the runway, and I said, she has been a performer all her life. Like, she's been destined for this. What was that moment, if you could tell us?
Yeah, so that was literally pageants, I guess. It was just for the school, like my primary school was having a modeling competition. So my mother was telling me, this is how you must walk, sway those hips, girl. I was small, but she was teaching me how to sway the hips. And I went on stage and I was swaying those hips and I won that day.
See, I looked at that and I said, oh, she knew she was going to be a star way back then.
Yeah.
Growing up, what music were you listening to that kind of influenced your sound and your love for music?
Pop, R&B, hip hop, I'm a piano, Afrobeats, house. I was literally listening to it all growing up. So I think that's why I like to mix things in my music.
And we heard all of those influences come out in the record Water. The pop sound, the African sound, the drums felt very African, but the rhythms felt global. And it definitely resonated here in the West. It's resonated all over the world. Can you talk about writing that record? What was the process like writing that record? And did you know that it would be the hit that it became?
Didn't know. I knew it was an amazing song, but I mean, how can you expect all of this, you know? Like, you
Facts.
can't expect all of this from a song, you know? But it was literally a song that I was looking for. It was a missing piece to the album. Because around that time, I was like, we done the album, let's find a summer banger now. I worked with Sammy, Ori, Corey, and Mocha, and we literally made that missing piece of the album. And literally that song changed my whole life, and I had to go back in the studio and make some more songs. Yeah, it kind of sparked another excitement.
I didn't realize that the album was already done by the time you begun to write Water.
Yeah, I mean, we were like kind of wrapping it up, but literally after Water, we just went in again, and we made even more bangers, you know, so.
How has your creative process changed from when you were writing Getting Late and performing and recording that record to Water? Were there any differences between that process versus the Water process?
Yeah, I grew a lot. And I think I've become more comfortable working with other people, because back then, yeah, I did not want anyone in the studio. I just wanted to be by myself. Like, even the producer, I would want him not to be able to see me. Like, no, you know, I was very much to myself. And like, as years went by and I learned more, I've become more open, I guess. So Water, I could really see how I just stepped out of my comfort zone for that one.
You became so open that you got Travis Scott on the remix. How did that come about?
He reached out, he loved Water, and he wanted to remix it. So I was like, duh.
Duh,
Like,
let's get it.
duh, yeah.
I want to talk about the album, man. The album is amazing. I've been listening to it since it came out from top to bottom. Do you have a song right now that is your favorite on the album, like your personal favorite?
There's so much. But Art, ART is something that I'm repeating. Jump, Breathe Me. Those three are kind of like on repeat right now.
Makes sense, because you talked about peace. You talk about peace, which is double entendre in the song Art. With this album, it's personal because it carries your name. If you could pick a song and tell people this is who Tyler is there a song that's like the quintessential Tyler song? What song would that be on the album?
That's so hard. But Breathe Me, I think, showcases my abilities the most in the song, in the album. Like, vocally, the lyrics, like, everything is just so big. And I think Breathe Me is probably that song.
You don't need no air, you can just breathe me.
A couple of songs that I love too that also seem to tell me where your mind is at in this moment, at least my interpretation of them, like Safer, Number One, Priorities. Talk to me about those records, like Number One, where you talk about no compromising. That's the song featuring Tems, beautiful record. And it's really an empowerment song. It's I'm putting myself first. What was the message behind that song that you were trying to get across?
Literally that. It's something that I felt for a long time, something that I really relate to and feel, and I know other people would. So I'm happy that I got to collab with Tems on that one, because it's such a like, obviously it's for everyone empowerment, but when I'm working with her, it just felt like woman empowerment, you know? Like, it was such a girly type power song for me.
What was the process like with Tems? How did that record come together? How did you guys work with each other? What was it like working with her? All of that.
Yeah, I mean, we worked remotely because she was in London, I was in LA. So the time zones, we were making it work though, because it was like 2 days before we had to submit the album.
Okay.
So it was a very last minute entry, but it literally made sense to add it to the album. So
How important is it for you to use the music to share the culture of Africa with the world? Like, I'm looking at who you've been able to collaborate with and listening to the sounds and how many different genres you fuse into your music. Has it felt important for you to share aspects of your culture through the music with all of your fans and all the Tigers out there?
definitely, like I said, I love collaboration, I love sharing culture, I love just pushing the music, you know, like I'm a piano, Afrobeats, I really believe in it. So the fact that I'm able to expand on it and collaborate with Latin artists and hip hop rappers.
Yeah,
and
Becky G is on there.
Becky G,
Gunna.
Gunna, Skilly Bang,
Yeah.
like Thames, Calvin Momo. Like, I just love that we're able to bring people from everywhere to one world, you know, and expand it. So yeah.
Well, you talked about Water being the song that helped you know that the album was complete. But I remember when you posted that picture of the track list, there was some songs crossed out, and I was zooming in.
You were zooming, man.
I'm nosy. I was zooming in trying to see what those records were. Is there gonna be a life of those songs on future projects that you let go, and how'd you make the decision to cut some of those songs out?
Very hard. My manager told me like probably like 130 songs or I don't know, around there.
That's how many
for the
you recorded?
album, yeah. And we narrowed it down to 14. It was kind of hard, but also not really, because my heart was literally screaming these songs. So it literally made sense. But yeah, it's difficult narrowing your babies down, you know? But I don't know, I feel like the way it came together was the perfect story.
Obviously, you make the great choices because one of the strengths of the album, in my opinion, is how cohesive it is. Each song blends beautifully into the next. When you were sequencing the album, how long did it take to get that order right and make sure that it all felt like a single sound that all fit together?
Long, because I literally, it was a whole process because it was this version and that version and that version. Every studio session I was in, we were changing the order, I'm telling you. But yeah, like the final order sounds so good, top to bottom, back to front. So yeah, I feel like that was the perfect order.
That's beautiful. I got some rapid fire questions I want to ask you. If you weren't a musician, what would you be doing?
Probably a model or engineer, mining engineer.
Yeah, I did think I saw somewhere that you almost went to uni for engineering.
Hey, that wouldn't have been my ideal career, but I might have been stuck there.
Listen, African parents, they don't play about education.
No.
Yeah, but we glad you chose this
Yes.
one. Favorite part of being on stage and performing?
Oh my word, the outfits, just playing a character, giving people a show, like, yeah.
Who is the one person who gave feedback on Water or made a video for Water that surprised you?
Janet Jackson. Yeah.
Could we see a Tyler Dennis Jackson collab in the future?
Maybe.
Yeah. What?
Very possible. Maybe. Hopefully.
Why was she so surprising for you? Are you a big Janet Jackson fan?
Come on. Who
Who
isn't?
isn't?
Yeah, literally who isn't?
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
What album or artist have you had on repeat lately?
Literally, SOS, SZA.
Oh yeah, shout out to SZA. That's what's up. Favorite accessory and why?
Belly ring. I love my belly ring. I just like different styles, you know.
Piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Just to keep putting yourself out there, girl. You know, like just to keep doing it because that literally is what got me here.
Where do you want to travel that you haven't been to yet?
I really want to go to Hawaii and Asia. Like I want to go to Korea, Japan, Tokyo, like all those key places, yeah.
I would love to hear how that influences your music. That is going to be an amazing time. And the last one, what is your guilty pleasure right now?
Probably sleeping in, but Diet Coke, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know why, but it's just good.
Okay.
It's so good, yeah.
All right, so if you see Tyler out, give her some Diet Coke.
Yeah.
She might show you some love, man. Thank you so much for being here. The album is already out, self-titled album called Tyler. It's a bop from top to bottom.
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
stopping by, man.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.